Good Monday morning, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us here at the Digital News Desk as we take a live look from our Sturgeon Bay Skycam and calm waters, all the boats there in the slips after probably a busy weekend for folks out in Sturgeon Bay.
Absolutely a busy weekend. I mean, the 4th of July, one of the biggest, boating weekends. People love spending time out on the water, despite rain and despite some of the situations that we've been dealing with. So we're hoping to hold off on some of that rain for today because there are so many people in our area who are drying out and dealing with the aftermath of flooding.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining Tammy, Elliott, and myself, Emerson, Lehmann, here from our Digital News Desk for our weekly update. And you mentioned it, Tammy, the drying out. That is certainly the case in places all winter long. We were kind of talking about how we weren't having snow, we weren't getting enough snow, the snowpack was so low, it was like a drought almost, and now we just can't get the rain to really stop. Steve's saying that we're going to have chances throughout most of the week this week.
Yeah, it's just kind of been constant. And I mean, our rivers and lakes are already, at their banks and some overflowing. And so we're really hoping to have a dry week, but just, not happening. Right now, though, for the most part, it is dry, which is good. But we wanted to talk about Manawa and the situation that's happening there in Wapaka County. We've been following this since Friday. You were here when this kind of all started developing Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon, we started getting reports. Friday morning, we started getting reports of the flooding that was taking place there in Manawa. We jumped on the Digital News Desk after the noon show on Friday and were able to first alert a lot of you to what was going on. The dam was being breached. Had the chance, they were warning people downstream to evacuate. Evacuations took place downstream. Evacuations took place at a campground there. Of course, the rodeo in Manawa that had to be canceled after that. Just so many people impacted, and we want to show you just some of the images that we saw from over the weekend. We mentioned the dam right here. The dam is to the right there of that photo, and you can see all the water rushing to on your screen on the left of that water, and you can just see how fast, just in that still photo, how fast that water rushing there. And that pond that you see there, it looks vastly different there this morning. Emily Roberts live out in Manawa this morning. She'll be there at 9 o'clock, and it looks completely emptied almost.
You're right, and they just had high levels of water, and the city leaders are saying that there's still, there's some concern about the erosion that could still happen there. So they've been keeping an eye on that, especially they got, some fresh rain again this morning. So they are really assessing that and trying to, figure out the next steps there. And look at this, that rain that was coming down. There was flooding.
This was before the dam. These photos had been submitted to us before that dam breach. So that just shows how much rain they experienced there. As you said, people trying to just dry out. So much flooding.
Was it about 5 inches of rain?
That's what Steve let us know. It was between like 4 and 5 inches of just in such a short period of time. As you can see, it just all really compacted on the Manawa community there. Of course, our First Alert weather app, make sure to always have that handy for when situations like that take place. And we talk about scams a lot here, Tammy. You have your consumer first alerts, and as folks continue to clean up in Manawa, they're asking people, they're potentially seeking FEMA assistance, so they're asking people to take photos, keep a list of things that were damaged by that flooding, but they're also warning people, the Manawa Police Department posting to look out for scammers that are trying to take advantage of situations like this. And you've done stories like this before.
Right, they're called storm chasers, and this is something, sadly, unfortunately, kind of common that, people who are looking to earn a quick buck and a lot of them not honest, and they will head to these areas where they know there's damage, and basically they come on in, they'll ask for cash up front, they're not licensed, they really are just saying that they can help you real quickly, and they're not going to, they might actually come in and not do the work for you or not do a good job for you. So yeah, the Manawa Police Department warned about this happening. I mean, this is something that just, it's always when there's severe storms, when there's tornadoes, flooding, any kind of, even, in the winter when there's heavy snow. So these storm chasers will come in. They want you to know the Federal Trade Commission has some really good tips on this. Any kind of a weather-related disaster, so there's no charges. First of all, you're hearing this talk about FEMA, so this application to try, the city's looking to get FEMA assistance. the Federal Emergency Management Agency does not charge application fees. So if someone would come in and say, "Hey, I can help you, get some. We're going to get this filed quickly, or we're going to, help you work ahead of this." You want to make sure if someone tries to charge you to help you qualify for this, that's a scam. You want to verify your insurance cover. Your coverage that you have, and never sign your insurance check over to a contractor. That would come obviously later. You want to really be skeptical of anyone who's promising that immediate cleanup or repairs. And as far as it goes, work with local companies, people just and ask for recommendations too. I mean, that's really the best advice. Check with the Better Business Bureau as well. But I think sometimes we think, oh, I'm in a small town, I'm in Manawa, this doesn't happen here. It does happen, sadly. And they come in, and just as quickly as they come in, they will leave too.
Lisa Schiller with the Better Business Bureau, who you do a lot of your reports with. I remember speaking with her about a different story last year, and she said it's so unfortunate that when events like this happen, those scammers, those people, they are just chomping at the bit. They are waiting for these types of disasters to take place, because they know that is the best time when they can do their scams and try and make a quick buck. But she said it's also so great to see how people come together in times of need like this, and
that's what's happening
That's what's happening in Manawa. That's right.
Emily Roberts was talking about that this morning. She was out there live and talking a lot about that, and that the community really coming together. I mean, we heard that from the rodeo director. He was like, they had 12,000 tickets sold in advance of the event. They had to cancel it. I mean, this is something that those businesses, the whole community looks forward to.
They'll rely on it.
They rely on it, right? But they understand that this is the pressing need. They weren't able to have it, and that everyone needed to help each other out, help out those neighbors. So. Yeah, we really, and Emily is going to be out there. She's still out there this morning.
Yes.
She's going to have another live report coming up on Action 2 News mid-morning at 9. We'll continue following this, and of course our weather team too, always following the very latest on that, and what's happening with our weather and the rain and the potential for flooding, more flooding.
Yeah, make sure if you're watching on Roku perhaps right now, or if not, if you're on your phone, once you finish up here, head to the App Store, Google Play, wherever you get your apps. Make sure to download that First Alert Weather app, because as we mentioned, this is not the end of the rain, the storms. There's potential for today and throughout the week. So Steve and the team definitely going to be keeping people up to date on that app, and you can use it to follow along with alerts and things like that. Good morning to Bruce, who's watching this morning. Thanks for tuning in, Bruce. And thank you all so much for tuning in on this Monday morning. Hopefully you had a wonderful 4th of July weekend, maybe a long weekend for some of you, and now we're kind of back into the swing of things. Here we go.
July, and it's going to be some hot, humid weather coming later.
The 7-day forecast had humid on every single day.
Right.
And some of them said hot and humid, some of them said hazing. It was just, you're sweating already just thinking about it. So
it's July. We're
going to be here to get you through it all, though. Keep tuning in. Great to have you joining us this morning. We'll end with a hello to Shawano County this morning. Look at the sky cam there. No rain yet, so Shawano County staying dry right now, and we wish you all a wonderful Monday, a wonderful work week, and we'll see you tomorrow on Action 2 News this morning starting at 4:30.
And you're going to juggle for us.
I'll juggle. Tune in. Tune in and we'll be juggling.
That's a tease.
That's a deep tease.